Hi, this is Ashley, and I am back again for my beginning of my lists for the end of the year. This time around, I'm going to be doing my favorite books read in 2015. As the title implies, that means that these are the books that I love the most that I've read this year, but not necessarily that they came out this year. Yes, there are a number of them that did come out this year, but there are a bunch that did not. So let's just get into this list. Coming in at number 10 is The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. If you do not know what this book is about, The Wrath in the Dawn is a retelling of 1001 Nights. It stars Shazi, and her prince, and we pretty much go through this story, and there are bits of magical realism elements in it and bits of magic, but really for the most part this is straightforward with characters with a bit of romance, actually quite a bit of romance, and I just really enjoyed this book. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Coming in at number 9 is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and this is about a girl named Kath and her first year away at college. She has a twin sister named Ren, and you pretty much get to see how she deals with her sister and who now wants to be apart from her, and just being kind of the shy, a little bit nerdy girl on campus, and just dealing with everything, and I just really enjoyed it. Coming in at number 8 is Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer. And I love this book. It is told from three perspectives. There's three distinct sections of the book that alternate regularly, and I just really loved it. It's so complex, and things are building and coming together, and I just loved it. It is about a guy who his grandfather has died, and he tries to go over to Europe to try to meet the woman that I guess he believed his grandfather loved in his youth before he had come to America. And it was just a great story, and it was heartbreaking at times, but it was also hilarious. Coming in at number 7 is Horns by Joe Hill, and this is what started my love for Joe Hill. So I watched the movie Horns because of Daniel Radcliffe, and I liked it, but I didn't love it, but I was intrigued enough to pick up the book, and I was so glad because the book is fantastic. It is disturbing, it is creepy, it is not for the faint of heart, but it is a wonderfully told story. It is fantastic, and Joe Hill is now a king in my mind. Coming in at number 6 is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And this book made me bawl early in the year. I don't really cry that often during books, but A Monster Calls just did it to me. I could not stop. It is pretty much about a young boy, and he starts seeing this monster right around the time that certain things are starting to happen in his life, and it's reaching this point where he needs to reach out and speak to this monster who is also terrifying and a giant yew tree. And I just really, really enjoyed this. It's short, but it'll hit you in the feels. So now we are into the top 5. So my top 5, rounding out the very beginning of the top 5, is going to be The Sculptor by Scott McCloud. This is a graphic novel, and it was fantastic. It spoke to the creator in me as a writer, as a creator, as somebody who constantly is outputting all of my creative juices into different creative projects. This was one of those things that I could relate to, and I just loved it. It was so fantastic. It is about a guy who is pretty much a failing sculptor, and he's trying to get his things in galleries, and then he suddenly meets this old man that looks like his grandfather, who is long dead, and he is offered a deal. He gets a certain amount of time alive in exchange for having the ability to become the best sculptor. And just the things that ensue after that are just enough to rip your heart out, and it's just so good. It's just definitely probably the best graphic novel that I've read all year. Coming in at number 4 is Illuminated by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This might be because I've been in a science fiction kick, or it might just be because this book is just really freaking good. But I loved Illuminated. It has a Battlestar Galactica vibe, and it is about these two characters who are on this world and essentially get yanked off as they are being chased by this evil company freighters, and they're all on the run. All these people are on the run, and they're trying to survive as one of the ship's AI is also trying to kill them. So I love it. It is a fantastic book. I definitely recommend it. Coming in at number 3 is Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. More science fiction. Yes, I know the majority of my top 5 is science fiction, but Leviathan Wakes is amazing. It's very hard to describe without giving away too much, but it's told from two perspectives. You have Holden and Miller, and you are out in space in the belt, and things are happening that are causing tensions between the different main places where civilization currently exists, which is the Earth, Mars, and the belt. And things are happening where the tensions between them are rising, and they're going towards this point of war. And you have Holden and Miller caught in the middle, not because of anything that they want to do. They are completely separate, but things that they are involved in end up tying them directly into what's going on. And it is just a great science fiction book. The world is so well developed. The characters are fantastic. I just loved it. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This was possibly my favorite fantasy of the year. It was an amazing book. It is set in the same Grisha world that her previous series, the Grisha trilogy, was actually set in, and it is really, really great. It is a step above the Grisha trilogy. I liked the Grisha trilogy, but I definitely didn't love it. But Six of Crows, I love. The characters are so fantastic. The heist was so tension-filled. And did I mention that the characters are fantastic? The world is so much more better developed this time out. And again, the characters are so wonderful. You follow 6 characters, and they are all in this dregs group. They are all part of this crew that are trying to do this. Some of them are dregs, some are not, but they are all fantastic, and I just love it. And then coming in at number 1 is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is one of the first books that I read in the year, and it managed to stay at the very top this whole year. I kept trying to find books that I loved more, but I just didn't. Golden Sun is the second book in the Red Rising series, and it continues to follow Darrow. And some people like to make comparisons of Red Rising to the Hunger Games, and I can see in certain elements how they would take the first book to be similar like the Hunger Games. But it's really like if you compressed everything in the Hunger Games into one book, put it into Red Rising, and then change things where it wasn't all just about just them killing each other, because it's not. And then you have the second book, which is absolutely nothing like it. It is about Darrow on his journey and dealing with these people, and it is just fantastic, so good. It is so action-packed. The characters grow and develop in ways that are fantastic because it's not an immediate continuation. You have a jump, and it is just prime. I cannot wait to reread it in my anticipation of the third book, Morningstar. And so those are my top 10 books that I read this year. Let me know what your favorite books of the year were down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.